Right. Balmer suggests that corporate brands differ from product brands in higher strategic focus, internal as well as external targets, and the incorporation of corporate strategy. As a result, the role of employees involving senior management is seen as crucially important in transmitting the brand values both internally and externally. Okay, so corporate brands differ from. I wonder how old this paper is because all of his references are like from the 2000s, like 2001 to 2003. There's not a lot of contemporary ideas here, which isn't very good if I'm gonna be, referencing this. Balmer suggests that corporate brands differ from product brands in a higher strategic focus. So does that mean that corporate brands have a higher strategic focus? Internal as well as external targets and incorporation of corporate strategy. So I'm going to go ahead and guess that's corporate brands incorporates the corporate strategy. Otherwise, as a result, the role of employees, including senior management, is seen as crucially important in transmitting the brand values both internally and externally. But do you see how saying the corporate brand differs from the product brand in this way? Does that? Yes. So you're talking about the product, the corporate brand there. Okay. So corporate branding, and then I'm going to do little stuff. So ignores product features. It has higher strategic focus, which I'm not entirely sure what that means, but I mean, high strategic both internally as well as external targets, has internal and external targets, and incorporates the corporate strategy. Incorporates the corporate strategy. It's kind of a little bit fluffy wording. With employees is seen as crucially important in transmitting the brand values both internally and externally. Okay. Ooh, my side. Fuck me. Whoa, my back is just in immense pain. God damn. That was on camera. That's crazy. That's never happened to me before. Right, okay, I guess I've got to rest my back. Balmer, 2001. If any of you were using what's it called? What's the doll where you stab it? Voodoo doll. If any of you are using a voodoo doll, please stop using the voodoo doll with me. Is seen as crucially important in transmitting both values. I might leave that line out. Hatch and Schnutz puts forward a proposition where corporate brands gain full strength when vision, culture, and image are aligned. Corporation needs to define a core identity. It's a bridge between an external position of the position where corporate brands gain full strength when vision, culture, and image are aligned. Okay, fuck it. I'm just gonna do that as a quote. I didn't burp. I sounded like I was going to burp and then I didn't burp. Pardon me, then I burped. Corporate brands going to foster when vision, culture, and image are aligned. Okay. They argue that the corporations need to define their corporate identity as a bridge between the external position of the organisation in its marketplace and other relevant environments and internal meanings. See, that's the kind of sentence I like. One that's too confusing. I write a lot of those, which is bad. And internal meanings formed it like saying, oh, this is comprised of two things. This, which it means this and is linked to this and blah 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 and this and this and this and this and this and this blah 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 this and like saying it out loud, it's easy to tell because you put inflection on the first this and then say a load of nonsense, and then the second one you go and this and you put a different sort of inflection in it, but you can't get those inflections in writing. So while writing it, you think to yourself, yeah, that's fine, but then once you read it back, you're just like, this is confusing. And to find their corporate identity is a bridge between external positions of the organization in the marketplace and other relevant environments, and internal meanings formed. See, it sounds weird. And internal meanings formed with the organizational culture. Erd believes that brands can help the company to articulate its core values. Okay. Erd promotes the concept of a brand-orientated company, which, so that's another thing that you could argue, aren't all companies brand-orientated companies? The brand-oriented company, which would have the ability to generate value and meaning via its brand. Successful corporate branding is claimed to imply a shared set of coherent statements about the company's values towards its external and internal stakeholders over time. A successful corporate branding needs I've lost it. Branding is a good set of coherent. It's claimed to apply to a shared set of coherent statements about the company's values towards its external and internal stakeholders over time, and also include the reference. See, the word coherent there isn't entirely necessary. There's a lot of unnecessary words. A shared set of statements about the company's values. Whoa, did not mean to do that. Values towards its external and internal stakeholders over time. Brilliant. There's a lot of references here, not many good references. There's a lot of definitions here, not because okay, 2002, 2003, 2001, 1997, all very old references. And so, to be honest, I don't think he expected us to actually properly read this. And so, but I may as well. I'll do this for 25 minutes. I'll see how far I get, and then I'll have a break, and then I'll go and do something a bit more important. No offense to whoever told us to read this, but I think he kind of meant to skim read it. And some current conceptualizations have insisted on a holistic nature, which involves the whole organization. The stars. Okay. Let's see. That's a definition done in 2002. This must be an old article. Brand image transfer between product and corporate brand. Oh, I'm starting to feel tired. Brand image transfer between product and corporate brand. Okay, that's quite interesting. Following the extension of the scope and applications of branding, interactions between the product and the company and the customer are becoming more closely scrutinized by market academics and practitioners. Wow, that's a lot of referencing. The degree of synergy between the corporate brand and the product brand depends on the brand architecture. Okay, I will actually include that. The various relations can be illustrated along a spectrum from the branded house to the house of brands, including endorsed brands and sub-brands. Most companies employ mixed strategy, but it is useful to briefly characterize the two examples for the sake of clarity. It's exactly like for the sake of clarity. That didn't need to be. This report needs a word count. I mean, a word limit. The house of brands in which there is separation between the corporate and product brands avoids corporate brand associations that may adversely affect the image of the product brand. Reciprocally, at the corporate level, it allows a company to diversify into new product categories without running the risk of deilluminating its corporate brand equity. Okay. P&G is able to manage brands like Pampers, diapers, blah 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 blah, without affecting the brand equity of either product or its own corporate brand identity. Okay, interesting. I didn't fully understand that. The only bit that I understood was the first bit, where the synergy between corporate brands and product brands depends on the brand architecture. Brand, I do not want you in bold and underline. Brand architecture. Brand architecture dictates the... Should I use the word synergy? I don't want to, but I'll do it anyway. Synergy between the corporate brand and product brand. Okay, right, cool. In a corporate dominant system, the reputation of the core... The role of the corporate brand in consumer product responses. Equally, corporate images may be mainly the result of customers' experience of the brand. Yeah. In addition, perceptions of the product brand are also used to evaluate the corporate reputation. Yeah. Somebody suggests that synergies between the product and corporate brand are stronger in a branded house situation. Okay, I need to learn what a branded house situation is. As the master brand, always a branded house situation, one with master brand and smaller brands. As the master brand contributes to the offering by adding associations that enhance the value proposition, reinforcing its credibility, as well as increasing visibility and communication efficiencies. For example, Coca-Cola. Oh, look how bad my hair looks. Wow. For example, I'm not going to be able to pay attention until my hair looks okay. What happens if I just... That looks atrocious. That looks... weirdly okay. That does look weirdly okay. Maybe I'd look quite good, not bald, but with a shaved head. I know. A branded house situation. So, for example, in that context, which I've just lost the context of, Coca-Cola would enhance Fanta's visibility and trustability and reliability in the eyes of the consumer, because people know Coca-Cola, people trust Coca-Cola, and if Coca-Cola owns Fanta, then you'd be more likely to drink Fanta because you like Coca-Cola. That's a good example of how the branded house situation can... So I want a definition of the branded house situation. By contrast, in a branded house where both corporation and products share the same name, so, okay, is that you defining a branded house as a place where, as a corporation where the corporation and products share the same name, or are you just saying in a branded house where the corporation and products are... The master brand is the primary driver of the brand associations. Reciprocally, corporate brands take on values... Okay. Can you define it? Most companies employ mixed strategies, but it is useful to briefly categorize the two extremes for the sake of character. The house of brands is which there is separation between the corporate and product brands avoids corporate-based associations that might adversely affect the image of the product brand. At a corporate level, it allows the company to diversify into new product categories without running the risk of diluting its corporate brand equity. Okay, I still don't fully understand. So you just defined house of brands. The house of brands is which there is separation between corporate and product brands. Avoids corporate brand associations that might adversely affect the image of the product brand. Okay, so for example, oh fuck, what's a good example? Yeah, for example, they do give an example that P&G do dog food. And if you think P&G, you don't really think dog food. So if P&G's reputation goes under, the dog food will be okay. I'm guessing that's what it means. By contrast, in a branded house where both corporations and products share the same name, which is different, but it's still a branded house, so what the fuck is a branded house then? If you've defined branded house as a corporation which distances itself from the product, and then you say, oh, but in a branded house where they do share the same name, corporations share the same name, the master brand is the primary driver of the brand associations. Reciprocally, corporate brands take on values of the product portfolio as well as from the corporate's culture and heritage. The master brand becomes the umbrella for various products and services offered. Virgin provides a typical example. Virgin Cola, Virgin Music, Virgin Airlines, and Virgin Jeans. Other examples include, oh, okay. But you've defined both of those as branded houses. Okay. Just Google branded house definition. A branded house is a strategy where more than one company's products are sold under one name. This approach is optimal in the master brand wants more control. See, this is fucking weird. This is weird. So it says that the two examples they give is Google and Gmail, Google Mail, Google Maps, like Google fucking calendars, which all has the name Google in it. And then the second example they give is P&G, which does Tide Pods and Pringles and brands that have no association to the master brand. So what? A branded house is a strategy where more than one... I didn't know that YouTube was owned by Google. Where more than one company's products are sold under one name. But P&G doesn't have that. So why is P&G an example here? This approach is optimal if the master brand wants more control over the end product's production, distribution, and cost. What is a branded house example? A company that markets as a branded house is expressing its value proposition in a single, unified voice. In most cases, the corporate name and brand item is one and the same, like Google and Google Maps and Google Mail. Often cited examples of branded house include John Deere, Harley Davidson, and Virgin. Okay, so Virgin was the example that said, Virgin Airways, Virgin Jeans, and so Google would be Google Mail, Google Maps, Google Calendar, stuff like that. Why the fuck is P&G there? And in the thing, they talk about P&G too. They say, most companies explore... There you go. Most companies explore mixed strategies, but it is useful to briefly categorize the two extremes for the sake of clarity. So the extremes, so there are two extremes of house of brands. The house of brands is which there is, the house of brands in which there is separation, so I was reading that wrong. The house of brands in which there is separation between the corporate and product brands. There's meant to be a fucking comma there, and there's not a comma there. That's a complex sentence. There's meant to be a comma. That's why I was so fucking confused. It's supposed to be the house of brands, comma, in which there is separation between corporate and product brands, comma, avoids corporate brand associate, but there's no second comma there. It just goes, the house of brands, comma, in which there is separation between corporate and product brands, avoids corporate brand associations that might adversely affect... Dumbass. I don't like this report. It's got flowery language, it's got old references, although it was probably written like in 2004 or something. And it's got bad grammar. This would be very, very interesting to go into because my seminar's tomorrow. It'd be very interesting to go in and say, I didn't like this paper. Like, for once in my life, I properly read the paper that you told us to read. I didn't like it. Let's try randomize my hair again. That is funny. Let's keep it like that because it's funny. The house of brands in which there is separation between corporate and product brands avoids corporate brand association, which may adversely affect the image of the product brand. Reciprocally, at a corporate level, it allows the company to diversify into new product categories without running any risk of diluting its corporate brand equity. P&G is able to manage brands like without affecting the brand equity of either its products or its own coding. So what is a branded house then? He says, oh my god. The next sentence is, by contrast, in a branded house. Oh no, he didn't say in contrast. In a branded house where both So there's not meant to be a comma there. So surely there's not meant to be a comma there. By contrast, in a branded house, comma, where both corporation and product share the same name, comma, surely it would be, by contrast, in a branded house where corporation and product share the same name, comma, the master brand is the... Surely that's how you would write it. The grammar is bad in this fucking article. No wonder it's so hard for me to fucking... Oh, wow, that's hilarious. Bad. This is bad. That's hilarious. This is infuriating. By contrast, in a branded house where both corporation and products share the same name... I want to text my mum this. My mum's an author. I want to message her and be like, I'm reading a fucking article and it's got bad grammar. By contrast, in a branded house where both corporation and products share the same name, the master brand is the primary driver for brand associations. So... corporate branding and brand architecture. Oh, it's nearly time for me to have a break. Ooh, pardon me. He does have a nice model here. So that's a dynamic model of brand architecture management. So then you've got the corporate brand there, the product brand at the bottom, and it shows the what each one individually does and how they link to each other, which is quite nice. That's quite a nice diagram. I just don't fucking understand. Okay, he defined different things, didn't he? Along the spectrum of branded house to house of brands. In a branded house... One of them is a branded house and one of them is a house of brands. Fucking kill me. Why is it titled that way? I was confused for so fucking long because I thought it was the same thing. It's not. House of brands and a branded house are two entirely different concepts. They have two entirely separate fucking definitions. That's why I was so confused. Kill me. That's so dumb. Oh, I'm angry. I'm angry. Branded house and house of brands are two extremes of what would you call it? Would you call it an architectural structure, a brand architectural structure, or a corporate and product brand relationship? Just will briefly categorize the two extremes. Categorize the just separation between. I can't fucking believe that. One of them is called House of Brands. One of them is called A Branded House. Of course, I didn't pick up on that. How the? He does say along the spectrum of from the branded house to the house of brands, including endorsed brands and sub-brands. He does say, I mean, it could have been clearer if he said there are two types, the house of brands and branded house. He just says along the spectrum of branded house and the house of brands. Oh, God. This is where we go over all of this in the lecture tomorrow. Okay, after I take this break, I'm not reading any more of this article. I know I've only read like 2 pages, but fuck this. This is too much effort for something that we're probably just gonna go over in the next lesson. And the references aren't very good either. Fuck me. Alright. Let's just write these definitions and then I'll go on a break. And I'll play some Minecraft to calm me down. I really need. It's the most relaxing game. I just bought some Ribena on my laptop. So, branded house and house of brands are two extremes of brand are two extremes of corporate brand and product brand. Sorry, itch. Corporate brand and product brand relationships. House of brands. I feel fucking defeated writing the definition of these. So this is the house of brands definition. It's where there's separation. So there's separation. I've heard this lo-fi song like 50 billion times. It's quite a nice one. I was meant to be applying to corporate jobs. I could be securing, when you actually think about it in that light, I could be securing a long-term job which pays me handsomely right now, but instead I'm writing a fucking outdated article on definitions that are hard to define, poorly written with fluffy language and incorrect grammar. That's what I've chosen to do with my time. Does not feel good. Okay, I'll just write these definitions, go and fucking play some Minecraft after this, you'll be fine. And then I can maybe apply to the job. Sorry, that's me clicking my scissors. I need a fidget device. I'm a fidgety man. I don't understand how people aren't fidgety people, but sometimes, like if I have a pen in my hand, oh, it's on the floor, there's the thing on the floor. If I've got a pen in my hand, sometimes I'd spend so much time concentrating on how I flick it around that was cool, that I just did it then. I lost my train of thought. So sometimes I have to hide fidgety devices behind my laptop so it's not my direct line of sight, otherwise I'll just grab it and start messing with it. So maybe a fiddle device wouldn't maybe a fidget device wouldn't be a good thing, because I'd spend the time concentrating on, I almost said fiddling. separation. I really don't want to write these brand definitions. Separation between corporate and product. Oh, screw it, I'm just going to copy it. Between the corporate and product brands. Can't believe that. This avoids corporate brand associations. Corporate brand associations. I can't spell. Oh, it's with C, not an S. This avoids corporate brand associations that might adversely affect the image of the product brand. This avoids corporate brand associations that might negatively affect the product brand. E.G. P&G own Pampers diapers and Tide Pods. Those product brands are not linked to P&G in the minds of consumers. Between corporate and product brands, this avoids corporate brand associations. Might negatively affect blah 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 blah. I spelled diapers wrong. So that's House of Brands. Now Branded House, which sounds very similar, but it's entirely fucking different. Oh la-di-da. Fucking whoever defined these, I want to kill them. Where both corporation and products share the same name. So corporation and products share the same name. The master brand is the primary driver of the brand associations. Is the primary driver of the brand associations. Primary driver of brand associations. It's so hot in here that I'm starting to get a bit. I can feel my face getting. You know. You don't know. Wow, I've also heard this lo-fi song quite a lot. I just thought of a meme. So, for example, if I was to do Amazon, I suppose, but there wouldn't be a product brand. Yeah, so that's a good question. For Amazon, what would be the product brand? If I wanted to do their delivery service, that doesn't have a name. It's not called Amazon Delivery. That's just Amazon, and it just delivers. So what would it be? I mean, maybe Amazon Prime would be the service. Yeah. So there's Amazon Prime, there's Amazon Music, there's Amazon fucking whatever, and so obviously Amazon is a branded house. Amazon is a branded house. Google is a branded house. Somebody just messaged me. Corporation projects share the same name. Master corporate brand is the primary driver of brand associations. I wonder what she said. Reciprocally, corporate brands take on the values of the same product portfolio. The more videos I do on this channel, the harder it is to not. The harder it's going to be to. I bet drunkenly one night I'm going to tell somebody. Take on values from the same product portfolio as well as the corporations. Culture and heritage. I love the internet. I love how I can just put anything on the internet. Brand associations take, and like now that I've got the YouTube app on my phone, it's just so easy. I just click this video, and I just click send, and it just does it. So this corporation's culture and heritage, the master brand becomes the umbrella for various products or services. U.G. Master, Google Maps, Google Mail, Etica. Cool. That's all I have for now. I'm going to go and do a bit of a break. Cool. Okay. Bye-bye. I'm really excited to play some Minecraft. Okay, I'm going to shut this down because I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah, fuck it, I'm going to completely shut it down. There was 2 fucking full papers that you wanted us to read. It takes me so long to read them. Because, like, I'm assuming normal people can just read something and retain all the knowledge. I need to reread, fully understand, and write down each definition in order to comprehend what I'm reading, and that takes fucking ages. This video is 37 minutes, and I think I got through a page. It's crazy. And to be honest, maybe I could work faster. But what can I say? I'm working slow today. I'm a slow man. Right, that's the end of that one. Oh, this means I'm going to have 2 marketing things in a row, but you know, who the fuck cares? Bye.